Yeah, collection framework and generics is today's topic. Okay. So what is a collection? A collection is a group of objects. In Java, these objects are called as elements of the collection. Uh, in reality, like what is collection? You have, I mean, kids use piggy bank. What it contains of? It's just a collection of points. So it is a part of collection where piggy bank is a collection framework, and the points inside that is a elements or objects, you can say, or a school bag which contains of books. So books are again objects, and whereas school bag is a collection framework. Okay, it's like a container which stores a group of other objects. Okay, it's as a single unit or a single entity it is called. Okay, so therefore the collection framework is also called as container object or collection object. Okay. In Java, actually it provides two types of data structures to store these collections. To store multiple values or multiple objects to store, we have something called data structures. Okay, so maybe in your when you're studying data structures in your BTech or BE, you might have studied all the data structures, right? That is nothing but like collection of objects where you use list interface, set. All these are used for storing multiple elements. Okay, so we have two types of data structures to store multiple values, that is arrays and collections. What is arrays? I'll show you how the arrays work. It is just a set of elements. See in the slide that you can see, I have integer values of 5. So these are all the integer values that is stored in an array. Always array index starts from 0. So I have 5 objects, which is the size array is 5 here, but the index starts from 0. So the fourth element, if you want to retrieve, then you will be getting 200 as a value for fourth index. Okay. So each index in the array holds a value here. So this is the syntax to this two-dimensional, and this is three-dimensional. It's like a matrix, like column and row it will be used. So it is in single array, it is just a plain array which consists of this many elements. When it comes to two-dimensional and three-dimensional, you just think of 2 rows and 2 columns, 3 rows and 3 columns. So it will be stored in that kind of structure. One second, someone else is joining. Okay. Array is like this. It's a form of array. Now telling you the difference of, because as a collection framework, it is very vast. To explain one concept of collection, like hash map, hash set, all, it takes at least minimum half an hour to explain one concept of it. So I'll be telling you most frequently used list of collections that we use, and it is a very basic form of collections which is easy to understand. So to start with, I'll be explaining only 3 types of collections for today. So, and I'll be telling you how it is useful and what are the differences between those list or set and map. Okay, so these things I'll be covering in today's section. Now let's see what is the difference of arrays and collections. See, arrays are fixed in size. You cannot change the size of the array once you declare it, but in collections it's dynamic. Just accept. Okay. Yeah, arrays are fixed in size and collections are it's a dynamic in size. Okay, so in arrays it's very fast execution and thing, and it has a better performance. But in collections, when compared to arrays, it consumes less memory, but it has low performance when compared to arrays. And data type, when it comes to array, it should hold only same type of data type. You cannot change, like if you're using int, it should be int always. If you're using string, then string. So it should be like that. But in collections, it can contain both homogeneous and heterogeneous, means same type or different type. It can hold only object and primitive data types. But in collection, it's always object type. Object type. It is a generic form of declaring collections. Okay, that I will be explaining you at last. Okay, generics is the last topic for today. So let's go to collection framework. Hope you're clear with the array and collection difference, right? So let's see what is collection in Java. It's a framework that provides an architecture to store and manipulate the object group of objects. Means, see, when you have a collection, see, for example, you are carrying a basket of apples. Okay, so you can either retrieve those apples from the basket. Means you can just search or retrieve like how many apples are there in the basket, or you can even remove it from it. Okay, or you can. Okay, or you can even delete it from it. I mean, it means you can remove the object from it, or you can even edit and like that. So you can, there are something like CRUD operations. It means like you can either create an object, you can update an object, you can read the object, or you can delete the object. So these types of CRUD operations that we do to update the database, we can do it in Java using collection framework. Okay, so you can edit the list basically. So for this use, we have collections and can achieve all these operations that I told you now: searching, sorting, insertion, manipulation, and deletion. So these things can be done using collections, and it is a single unit of objects. We have many interfaces. As I told you, Java is a very huge, many classes like array list, vector, linked list. Okay, and we have interfaces like set list, queue, dequeue. So these things are the, I mean, it's like a pretty big list and linked list and a hash map. I'll be covering it for today. Just this gray color, what you're seeing, it's complete collection. Objects are stored in a collection object. Okay, so let's see the example. Now, Java program. This is how the program look like. I have a list which I have declared it as a array list of cities, which is of type string. This is the where object type. So I'm declaring it as an object type here because I'm declaring it as a string. Okay. So now I'm adding. One second, one more is joining. I'll just accept and get back to you. Okay, let's go ahead. List here. I'm adding cities dot add. I'm adding 3 cities. You can even remove it, or you can edit it, or you can just read the data. You can just read how many cities are there in it. Okay, so this is how the syntax of Java, this list is. I'll show you with an array list examples of array list, and it contains string elements in this. So as I told you, in collection, I think one more is joined. I'm sorry for this. People are joining. I have to accept. Yeah. So as I told you, map is actually of objects again. So we have array list, linked list, set, EQ, hash map, hash table, tree map. See, we have so let's cover the list interface, how it is implemented. See, list interface is the child interface of collection interface. As you saw parent class, inside that we have list interface. Okay. Collection interface. Okay, it inhibits a list type data structure in which we can store ordered collection of objects. Whenever we are using list, the elements or the objects will be in an ordered collection, and it can have duplicate values also. So I'll be telling you the usage when you have to use list, when you have to use set or map. I'll be telling you when to use those. Okay, it can have implemented by the classes array list, linked list, vector, and stack. This is how you under data type list 1, list 2, how much ever list you want, you can instantiate that whatever the list type you need, you can declare it this way. Okay. And as I told earlier, also there are various methods in list that can be used to insert, delete, and access the elements from the list. This as a list, you will be adding a list here, one by one elements you'll be adding, and you can take it from here, insert here and take here. Okay. I'll go to the Eclipse. See here, I have a list. Okay, I'm creating a list here. I'm adding type of browsers to that list: Chrome, Mozilla, Internet Explorer, Safari. I have added 4 of it. Okay, and I'm iterating. Okay, so let me now comment this. Yeah, you're able to see the screen, right, and applications. See, now I have a list where I'm adding Chrome these things. So I'm iterating that list. So when I iterate, I want to just read the list here. So whatever the items contains in this list, I'm getting that as an output here: Chrome, Mozilla, Internet Explorer, Safari. These are the 4 things which I have added. I'm getting all the 4. So if at all I want to remove it, or if you want to add, if I want, I'll just show you how to add here first. List dot add something MSN I'll be. So yeah, this is also added now. So now you say I want to delete that MSN what I have added. So I'm taking this here. See, now I'm actually checking if at all the name is Safari. I want to delete that particular element from the list. So what I'll do, a string here. Okay, string itr dot next means it will check. It will actually returns the next element in the iteration. Okay, and this has next will check whether there are more elements to iterate. So it will, if it has next is true, only then it will come here and then check this next, and it will take that element. It will read the element, and then once the element name is equal to Safari, it will remove it from the list. So let's execute this. I've removed Safari. Let's check. Name ITR next. Safari. See now, actually I have declared this system.out.println inside the iterator. That's the reason it was like showing so many times. But now I have declared it outside. Now I don't have Safari in the list, right? Because I have removed it here. Okay. So this is how you remove if you are using iterator. There is one more way to remove it. See, now I'll comment this. Here, so just give instead of this, I'll give itr.next because I want to read every element in the list. So I'll be giving itr next. So now three types that you can remove an element. Okay. One is using a index. Once you are using the index, also you can remove, and one way which I already showed you using iterator, you can remove an element. Also, there is one more using a remove if element. So now let's see what is the output in this. See, I have all the files of browsers that I have mentioned, which I have already there in the list. Now I want to remove using the normal list dot remove using index. So see, it is just a list dot remove zero. Zero index I'm removing. So zero it means it should remove Chrome, right? I'm printing the list. See here, Chrome is removed. This output. There is two outputs. This output is printing this file, which is initial list. Later, once I remove, I'm printing the list again where Chrome is not there. Okay. So this is one way of removing, and the other way is again you can give using objects. So directly you can give this name, whatever the name that you want to remove, like Safari, MSN, whatever you want, you can directly give it here and then remove. That is one way. And there is the other way is using a lambda expression. Okay, lambda expression also I'll be covering at last how the this arrow functions will, like in JavaScript you may know that is called lambda expressions. So using that also we have something called this dot remove if the condition here caret 0 is equal to m. See, caret 0 is equal to m means which one it will be removed here. Mozilla and MSN should be removed, right? So let's see the output now. See, Mozilla and MSN both are removed because the character at the 0 is m means whichever is starting from m will be removed. Okay. So this is how you need to remove the elements from the list. So let's go ahead further. We'll go for iterator interface. It provides the facility for iterating the elements in a forward direction only. This is what I showed you now. While deleting the element from an array list, I use this has next remove. These are the methods that I used in the iterator now, which I already showed you. Okay. And this also I covered now. We can remove an element from array list in many ways as given here. That is remove. Remove method can be used by index or by element or iterator method or using remove if method. So these three I showed you in an example now. So next we'll go ahead with the linked list. Hope you are clear with it. See, in linked list and array list, we have a differences. In array list, as I told you, it will allow duplicates and it is slow compared to linked list. Okay. And it occupies less memory. But in linked list, insertion and deletion are faster. You should use array list when you're just want to retrieve the elements from the list. You just have to need to search the elements from the list. Then it is the best option to use is array list. But if you want to do modification like insertion and deletion, it is always good to go for linked list. Okay, but here it requires some more memory as it holds both data and address of the next and previous node. And it also allow duplicates. Okay. See, this is how the linked list works. Every node is nothing but the element that you create. So at that time, it will in the linked list, it will create it as a node. So I have here 5 nodes, right? So first it is called as head, where you will be storing the data, that is the value, and it also contains the address of the next node. Okay, this is called head. And the second part here, what you're seeing, it is a address of the next node. So the last node will have no address of the next node because that will be the last. At that time, it will be null. If at all you add one more element to the same list, then that address will be stored in the previous node, and the last element, whichever it is, it will hold null as an address value. Okay, so this is how the linked list node is working. I'll show you this example in Eclipse, and we'll go for map interface. In linked list also we have many functions. Okay, so we have remove all, remove first, remove last. We can clear the elements, everything at once. So we can use, there are so many methods in linked list also. Okay, only when you want to do too much of insertion and deletions, it's always linked list is recommended. So I'll show you how this is done here. First, I'm just retrieving here also the same example I have taken where I have this browser list. I'll just execute. See, I have 4 Chrome, Mozilla, Internet Explorer, Safari. So all the 4 came. Now, if I want to remove, here using index also you can remove. See, remove 2 means it will remove the second one, second index. Okay, so let's this. Okay, I'm not printing it, so I'll just print. See here, this is a first list. This is coming from this one, system.out. Here I have given this print. So it is, you can see this 4 which I mentioned, but this print is from after removing. So here the second element means third one. Internet Explorer is gone because the index always starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2. So second one means it will go for the third one. It also counts from 0, right? So that is the reason. So it has removed Internet Explorer and it is giving only these 3. So if at all I want to clear everything or remove first, let's see. As soon as I give, see what all methods we have in the linked list. We have remove and remove index also we have, which I just now I used it. You can remove object means you can give either the name directly like a Chrome or Mozilla, whatever the name you want, you can name it here, and remove all is there where it will remove everything. And I'll show you remove first now. Okay, I'm giving remove first. Okay, so if at all I give remove first, it will remove only the first one. See, it has removed Chrome here now. The first element is removed. Okay, if I want to clear everything, I want to empty the list. There are many options when you are using linked list. See, I'm clearing it now. See, the list is empty here. Okay, I think this is joining again. Okay. Right, as you can see. So that is why like linked list also has many advantage over array list. As I told you, whenever you're doing deletion and addition, so this is more faster in linked list to add and delete. Okay, let's go with the map interface. See, a map interface, it doesn't allow duplicate keys, but you can have duplicate values here. Okay, and always map contains, it is based on key value pair always. Okay, so for example, if I want to tell you have unique keys like Aadhaar card, it's a unique key, right? So in that case, you can go for key value pair. But the problem is, as map allow duplicate values, I mean, then it doesn't allow duplicate keys, but it allow duplicate values, as I told. So in that case, based on the requirement, if it is okay for you to contain duplicate values in a list, then you can go for map interface. If at all you don't want even the duplicate value should not be there in your list means, then you should go for set. Okay, so which I'll be telling you that comparison I'll be explaining you later. But for now, you just see how the map interface works. Map does not allow duplicate keys, but you can have duplicate values, and hash map and linked hash map allow null keys and values, but tree map doesn't allow null key or value. There are different types of maps also, hash map, linked hash map, tree map. So there are many kind of map, and it is useful if you have to search, update or delete elements on the basis of key. Okay. As I told you, see, these are the map does not allow duplicate keys, but have duplicate values, and allow null keys, but null keys and values. But these are the features of the map interface, and based on the requirement, when you're programming big projects and also at that time you will be take a decision on which one to use for your requirement. Okay, so if at all if you want unique keys should be there and no value should be repeated. So based on the requirement, based on the logic that you are using, you should be able to take a call which one will suit for that particular logic. Only then you should use. Okay, based on the features. See, this is how the map map has sorted map, tree map, hash map, linked hash map. So whichever implements, always it implements this map interface. Okay, but whichever is in this green color, right? This is itself its interface. When you are calling an interface, then it is always extends. So this also I'll be explaining. I'll be covering what is interface, how it actually implements extends. I'll be showing you in after a couple of days, maybe the topic based on the topic. Okay. See, these are the based on the key. And it contains only unique keys. Okay, key means it should be unique always. Then hash map may have one null key and multiple null values, and is not synchronized. As hash map is not synchronized, it is fast, and it also maintains no order. It will which the insertion and deletion order will not be maintained. Okay, it will not maintain the order. Let's see how the hash map works. You will be just giving key value pair, but while storing, it will store it as a hash code, key value, and next node reference. So all these things will be stored. Okay, so whenever you're putting element key and value, this key should not be repeated. It should always be unique, and value can be repeated. Okay, so this is how you put the elements inside the hash map for storing the elements. And when you want to get some element from the hash map, when you want to retrieve it, some values based on the key, you can retrieve it. See, get key. Okay, when you do that, there is something called concurrent hash map also, which is you introduced in Java 1.5. Okay, but this normal hash map which we were using before, it was introduced in the Java collection framework in 1.0. Show you the difference between hash map and concurrent hash map. This is one of the interview questions that usually interviewer will ask. So just to see how it actually works. So hash map is not synchronized, as I told you, and hence it is not thread safe. But when you want to hash map to be synchronized and thread safe, when you're handling like multiple threaded applications, then it is synchronized and it is thread safe. Okay, and in hash map it allows maximum one key and any number of null values, one null key and many number of null values. But in concurrent hash map, it doesn't allow even a single null key. There is no null concept at all in hash map. There should not be written from by hash map or fail fast in nature, and here fail safe. Okay, it is always safe to use hash threaded applications, and hash map is faster. And it is one thing to understand, whichever the concept is not synchronized, means it is like not thread safe, then those features are faster always. When it comes to multi-threaded or thread safe or synchronized, then those things are slower compared to a not thread safe applications of this hash map, and this is more suitable for multi-threaded applications. So these are the differences of hash map and hash map works. See, I have a map which I have created a hash map here. Okay, I have put the elements map. I have named some of the elements here, fruits name which I have given. Okay, let's comment this. Now I need to iterate it. I'm using a for loop here, map.entry and entry set. I'm just printing all the values of the hash map. See, I have iterating hash map. First one is null, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 it's printing. Right? It has maintained the order this way because null is there first, but so it came first and then it has given 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Okay, now you see here for, as I told, it will not allow duplicate keys, right? Now I'm adding one more grapes here inside the map where I'm adding a key 2, but 2 is already present in the map, right? Key value 2 is already present, but I'm using the same key again and adding a grapes. Let's see what it will do. See, now 2 is replaced with grapes. This apple is gone. Okay, it will just replace with the new value, whatever is there in that particular key. That is the reason, like, it will not allow duplicate keys in the hash map. Okay, so this is how the hash map works. Let's see how to remove the element from the hash map. This also has remove method. I'll just remove one using index. So here, updated list of elements. See, I have null 2, 3, 4. 1 is gone. The in 1 I have this mango, right? So that is gone here. Okay, that is how it is removed. Okay, so this is the hash map example. Let's see what is concurrent hash map. As I told, concurrent hash map does not allow null keys or null value. This is a concurrent hash map example. Here, concurrent hash map, same like hash map, how we declare, the same way even you are doing the concurrent hash map also. I'm putting the elements here, okay, and I'm just printing it. But here I have a null value. See, null I have given. So let's see what is the output. See, I got exception, null pointer exception I got, because concurrent hash map will not allow null values. So I got the exception. If I just comment it, or I'll just put some other key here, 105. Now if you see, it will see, now I got the updated list, and here this concurrent hash map list also I got this hello. It's printing everything without any exception. Okay, hope you're clear with this concurrent hash map and the hash map example, right? Okay, let's go ahead with the next one. As I told, when we should use list map set. List when there is no, I mean, when we have frequent search, if there is a need for frequent search operations based on the index values, then you should always go for list. Okay, and also if you need to maintain the insertion order, then you need to go for list. As I told, map will not maintain the insertion orders. Okay, I mean, set also have unordered collection, so even this will not maintain the list. When you need an ordered collection and you just have to search the elements from the list, then you should go for a list. But it's not suitable for insertion and deletion because it consumes a lot of time and memory. So that is the reason it's not recommended. And when it comes to map, if you need key and value mappings, then you should go for map. And also hash map doesn't allow duplicate keys, but allows duplicate values. So based on these concepts, based on these features, based on the requirement also, you need to choose accordingly which one you need to use for your project logic. Okay, and when you do not want to have duplicates in in your collection, okay, then you should go for set always. Set is the best priority when you do not want any duplicates, because set will not allow duplicates to store. For example, Aadhaar card is a unique number. It will not allow duplicate Aadhaar number, right? Aadhaar number is always unique, and every person will have only that Aadhaar number, and it's not repeated to anyone else. So even that list should not contain duplicate Aadhaar numbers. So in that cases, you should go based on the requirement, which one to use for your particular logic. Okay, let's see how the generics work. So this is the topic which I was telling initially. It is a type safety objects. So I'll show you this, how the type safety is maintained. See, Java generics is made. Yeah, Java generics programming is introduced actually in 5 version to deal with type safe objects. Okay, to make the code stable, and it will detect the bugs easily at the compile time. So when the bug detecting is easily done at the compile time, when you run the program, you won't face much difficulty, because most of the issues will get resolved when you're writing the code itself. So when you're using generics in your code, it is always a best practice to do that. And when before generics, we can store any type of objects in the collection. That is non-generic also, we were able to store in the collection. But once the generics is introduced, it will force to write generics when you're using collection. Okay. So it is like a mandatory now to use generics whenever you are using collections. See. One more thing, this is the comparison for generics. See, without generics, how it was before. We had objects go in as a reference to car, football, or scooter, fish. So you can see here, right? It all considered, it's like a collection of objects, but it is of different type. So it is like the output also come out as a reference of type objects itself. But it is like different objects here. So it is difficult to see like which object actually it referred to. So when it comes to generics, we can create like car. You can specify, okay, you are using car type of objects in this particular list. So when you specify, it is so easy. Whenever it goes in as a car, it comes out as a car. No confusion in that. So that is how you use generics when you are using collections. Hope I am clear with this example for you. What is generics is? See, what are the advantages of generics? Actually, we can hold only a single type of objects in generics. It does not allow to store other objects. As I told you in an example here, I'll show you in Eclipse what are generics. See, consider this only as example. Here, I'm using integer and string. Integer is a key and string is a value, right? So this is a generic form of declaring a hash map. Any collection that you are using, you have to give this. So it is clear that all the keys are integer type, all the string or values that you're using is of string type. So even here also you'll be using that. This is called the generics. When you go to array list also have declared it. See, I'm using the string list right here. I'm adding all the string types. So I have declared it as a string here. Okay. So it is so clear that you are using only string types. That's all in this particular list. Okay. So that is how the generics will work. See this example, I have a list created. I have added 10. Okay. But I cannot add this string type of 10 because we have not declared any type safety here. Okay. See, with the generics, it is required to specify the type of object we need to store. Okay, here in the list, as we have not mentioned any int or string, it will add both 10 and 10 without any errors. But when you are using generics, I have mentioned it here as an integer. So I'm adding first one as 10, but second one as this string type. So I'm getting compile time error. Before I was not getting any compile time error. When you run only, you will come to know whether it will give an error or not. But here using generics, while writing the code itself, you will get to know, okay, this is wrong, I have to correct it. So you will do it then and there. So it is easy to debug the program because of the generics. And here typecasting is not required when you use this generics one. See, for example, here again, I have an array list where I have added a string called hello. And here before, when we were not using generics, we used to do typecasting list.get of 0. So at that time, it used to give string type of this hello I used to get. But after generics, we don't need to do that typecasting. Once we declare string in this generic form of list, it will just list.get0 will return this hello. Okay. So this typecast, what we were doing before, is not required now because of the generic. Next, this is one more advantage, which I already told you. It is checked at compile time. So no problem will occur at runtime. So that good programming strategy says it is far better to handle the program at compile time than runtime. Means once you execute the program only, you will come to know whether this program is executing properly or not. Okay, otherwise you will not come to know, right? Usually that is what happens when you're not using any type safety. But once you start using type safety, as and when you code, you can handle all the errors. Most of the errors will get resolved during compile time itself. This is the example which I showed you earlier also. Okay. So this is the end for today's topic. Hope I made everything, the concepts clear. But collection, as I told, it's a very big topic. You need, so much time to learn each of the collection framework, like hash map itself. It will take more than half an hour to 1 hour to understand what it is. So once you practice, you will know what all methods are there in that particular list framework. Okay, collections framework, then you will understand all those concepts. It takes time. Okay, so that's all for today. Please share attendance. What do you want to do? 1 second. Okay, we are done for today's session. Thank you everyone for attending. We'll catch you on explaining each OOPS concept on Monday. And I'll repeat. Cut ಮಾಡಲಾಗ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. I have sent you the attendance sheet. Please fill it and send it back. Thank you.
Today we shared with the Google Meet, joining very less. Yesterday 11, 12, 20, 15. Today is only 7, 8, 9.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಇದ್ರು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ
ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ?
ಇದ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ 10-15 ಇತ್ತು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಪೇ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು 6:30ಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಏನು ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಏನು ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಒಂದು ನೋಡಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೇಳಿದ ನಾನು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು
ಏನಂತ
ಜಾವಾ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು.
ಹೌದಾ ಯಾರು
ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಚೆನ್ನೈಯಲ್ಲಿ